Basically, we have two different methods to reduce the lowest terms. Method A, keep checking prime factors. Those would be your low prime numbers, such as 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, etc. And then method B is factor out the GCF just one time. The GCF standing for greatest common factor. So let's take 15 over 45 as a first example. So what we can do is like, if I divide the numerator and denominator both by 5, that will then become 3 over 9. And then we're like, hey man, this new fraction, 3 over 9, can also be further factored by 3, top and bottom. So it's like, okay, cool. Divide the numerator and denominator both by 3. It becomes 1/3. So see, we kind of had to factor twice there using method A. Let's do the same thing, method B. So again, we have 15 over 45. Now, one trick you always want to try is, does the numerator go straight into the denominator? In this case, it does. 15 happens to be both the numerator and the GCF, the greatest common factor of 15 and 45. Because 15 goes into itself once, 15 goes into 45 3 times. So you can just factor off the GCF once. Method B is a far preferred method, but there's nothing wrong with A. It's just A is a little more primitive, and you have to just keep checking prime factors. So as long as you have stick-to-itiveness, method A is cool. I'm not going to disparage it in any way. Let me just do at least one more example of each. Let's say I have 16 over 24. And then again, you're like, hey man, numerator and denominator are both even, so I can divide both by 2, and I get 8 over 12. Then you think, hey man, these are both even numbers still, so both divisible by 2. I do that, and I get 4 over 6. Then you think, hey, this is still even. Like, this thing's not dead yet. We're not done with it. I want to divide the numerator and denominator both by 2, and that becomes now 2/3. Now notice I had to factor a few times to get 16 over 24 to lowest terms. Method B, let's go 16 over 24. Now over here, I might do a little prime factor tree, like, hey man, I'm gonna factor out 16. That's 2 and 8. I'm not gonna go any further. I'm gonna go 24, see what happens. It's kind of a weird trick here. This comes out to 3 and 8. I'm like, we got an 8 for both. Yes, this actually happens to be my GCF. Kind of a funky method, so kind of keep it to yourselves. But 16 and 24, both divisible by 8. I'm going to do it. Divide the numerator and denominator both by 8. I get 2 over 3. See, GCF is cool. It's a one-time deal. But you got to be careful. It takes a little while to adapt to method B. And again, honestly, I've been doing math a long time. And sometimes I still revert to method A. So look, whichever one you choose is cool. And remember, you can flip-flop between both of them. Just be careful. If you are using method A, have that stick-to-itiveness. Keep checking low prime factors. Good luck, guys.